Hello everybody, my name is Ann Cox and I have the honor of presenting Professor Robert Klonoff with this year's Leo Levenson Award. Each year the 3L class votes for the professor of their choice to win the Leo Levenson Award, an award which highlights excellence in teaching. I can think of no one better suited to win this award than Professor Robert Klonoff. Good teachers display a commanding knowledge of the information they are tasked to convey and then successfully convey it. The best teachers do this and also foster a love of learning and act as fierce advocates for their students' efforts, creating opportunities for their students to thrive. Professors honored by the Leo Levenson Award are professors who do all this alongside an understanding that learning reaches far beyond academics and requires a personal commitment to curiosity of the world, of other people, and importantly, their students. Realizing the depth of Professor Klonoff's intelligence and experience happens immediately upon meeting him, and talking with him makes you feel smarter, better informed, and listened to. When I asked my friend and fellow student Cole Killian what he thought about Professor Klonoff's teaching style, he sent me a long and numbered list of reasons Professor Klonoff deserves this award. It included remarkable traits like being able to summarize the legal principles of a 50-page opinion into a few bullet points without losing the depth, nuance, and importance of the opinion. Or that he is unbiased as he presents and articulates experiences and arguments from multiple perspectives, or that he inserts real-world law practices into his lectures, helping connect concepts to actual practice. But Cole and everyone else who has had the privilege of taking a class with Professor Klonoff also knows that while he is a born teacher and joyful conversationalist, it is his dedication to his students that allows his teaching skills to take on a new life, because Professor Klonoff is generous with his time, his expertise, his resources, and his feedback. Like so many other students here, I arrived bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and quietly uncertain. Civil procedure with Professor Klonoff was my very first class post-legal methods. I try to remember what those very first moments of that very first class felt like. Professor Klonoff began to speak, and he was very clear. He would utilize the Socratic method, but it wouldn't be scary. Our exam would be completely closed, but we would be prepared. And then he went to the board and proceeded to outline the entire semester so that we would always know where we were, like a homing device: personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, venue, and on. That day, and in all the days to come in civil procedure, Professor Klonoff reminded us that we were exactly where we should be. He met each of us exactly where we were and took pains to make sure we understood the material from all angles. When someone pointed out that the syllabus for our Monday-Wednesday class had long readings between Mondays and Wednesdays, he accommodated the class and adjusted the syllabus overnight to make sure our long readings were now from Wednesdays to Mondays instead. I personally know several people who emailed questions to him and received a response within 10 minutes, even at 2 a.m. As we neared exams, many of us would work hypotheticals as a group and then email the hypothetical and our answers to him, only to receive an extensive email back with encouragement, explanations, and deeper questions to consider. In the end, civil procedure was so popular that everyone wanted to take federal courts and complex litigation with him, prompting a wait list. Professor Klonoff had managed to engage everyone in that room and helped them understand one of the most complex subjects in law school. His gift seems to be understanding students' personalities and style of learning and then giving them the information in exactly that manner. As a result, everyone wants to bring their best to him. I know student after student of his who presented their best work to him and then made it better after his feedback so they could present their best work to him. But his dedication to his students doesn't stop in the classroom. As my friend Sylvia Badia noted, Professor Klonoff participates in and donates extensively to the Public Interest Law Project. He coordinates the Higgins Visitor each year and finds ways to connect these distinguished guests with his students. He sits down with his students and strategizes with them, utilizing his own connections to help students get the experiences they want to build their careers. And as I'm sure you all know, this last year, he takes his dedication to teaching so seriously that he taught his classes virtually at the beginning of this past semester when he was unable to personally attend class. What you may not know is that he's so devoted to education and opportunity that when he teaches throughout the world, which he often does, he goes out of his way to do more than just show up and lecture. For example, he recently collected textbooks to take with him to Cambodia to help create a law library for the students at Royal University because theirs was outdated. Whether at Lewis and Clark or another university somewhere in the world, Professor Klonoff chooses to dive in and be involved in students' learning. Professor Klonoff is generous and thoughtful, and I think that comes from his being humble and curious as well. He's had a remarkable number of accomplishments throughout his life, but his focus, it seems, is firmly on his students, preparing them for their careers and helping shape them into the attorneys and people they want to be by being curious about them, their gifts, and their interests. This focus is what elevates him beyond being a great professor and makes him a Leo Levenson Award recipient. I am proud to be able to present this award to him. Congratulations, Professor Klonoff. We are all better because of you.
Thank you, Anne, for your kind remarks. I am honored to receive the Leo Levenson Award for teaching. A law professor wears many hats, but none is more important than teaching. It is an awesome responsibility to train the next generation of leaders. I reject the saying that old dogs can't learn new tricks. I learn from my students every day, and at age 65, I am still a work in progress. I am especially humbled to receive this award, knowing the talented recipients who have preceded me. From the bottom of my heart, I thank the graduating class for giving me this award. Thank you.